Motivation is the catalyst for anything in life, and especially in school, it is extremely important. However, we are biologically designed not to like school because we seek freedom. School restricts all of our freedom. Therefore, not only is school purposely designed for us to not like it, it also does not teach us anything related to motivation. In this video, I'll tell you exactly how I managed to stay motivated for school. But why should you listen to me? I have 3 extracurriculars every single week. I make YouTube videos, which is pretty much 4 full speeches every single week. I gym 3 times a week. I go out with friends every single week, at least once. And worst of all, I hate school. That means I am not intrinsically motivated to study at all. I literally have every possible disadvantage when it comes to staying motivated for school. I have so many things outside of school that I'd rather spend my time on, yet I still have a 95 average. So how do I manage to stay motivated? The first thing I want you to understand is how motivation actually works. The number one motivator across every single person on the planet is actually progress. If you think motivation feels uncontrollable, all we really have to do is show that you made progress towards something and your motivation actually spikes. So it's actually really goofy, but I literally just use checkboxes for my to-do list every single day. And that actually works incredibly well. And every single day, all I try to do, if I really am dismotivated, is just do the first thing. Just do one thing. And then once I click that one checkbox, my instantly dopamine spikes in my brain. And I'm like, oh shit, I made progress. I gotta keep making progress. So if you want to stay motivated, literally just make a to-do list with checkboxes. And I'll make a doc for you so you can just copy the doc and link in the description. And if you still can't start for some reason, that's probably because we're scared. We procrastinate because we're scared of the assignment and we put it off later. So the best way to cure procrastination is just to specify. Specify exactly when you're going to do it and how long it's going to take. And then you'll realize it's not even that bad. And you can actually go really far with this. If you start having like 10 things on your to-do list, you can actually go on and fully make a daily routine out of it. You can, in the first 5 minutes of your day, plan out your entire day and get addicted to making progress. And the days that you have like 10 checkboxes fully filled out at the end of the day, you can fall asleep completely regret-free. It is those days that are absolutely golden. Now, if you still can't get to work, there's probably only one reason why you can't, and that is your dopamine receptors are fried. So you have to fix your dopamine receptors. You're probably hyper-stimulating yourself 24/7, right? I remember when I used to be in class every single day, and I could not get to work because every single 5 seconds, my hand would just magically go towards my phone and I'd be playing Brawl Stars. It's actually insane. The most powerful technique you can actually do to wake yourself up is just to get off social media and video games. However, if you're still learning off something, like my videos teach you something that's actually life-changing, hopefully don't stop watching these unless you really need to fix your dopamine levels quickly. It took me around 5 months to finally quit video games. So here are some things that I realized. The number one technique, by far, for quitting your phone addiction is actually to fill in your time with your actual meaningful things. It's not even to focus on the phone itself. Rather, you have to focus on the other areas of your life which are causing you to have the phone addiction. Now keep in mind, this is actually above all the other techniques that everyone else talks about online. These quick fixes don't actually really work for me. Like, for example, putting screen time widget and turning on black and white and actually setting a screen time for your phone. Those never worked for me. Every single time I deleted the apps, I've downloaded Brawl Stars over like 30 times. Like deleted and fully downloaded it back, played games, and then hated myself and deleted it over and over again. These things don't actually work. There's 3 reasons why you always fall back to your phone, even when you do these quick fix methods. Is because number 1, you have a habit of using it and you have to break free of that habit. Number 2, you still cope because of your self-image. You still identify as someone who uses, like, this is kind of like wishy-washy, you don't really understand, but it actually is true. I used to identify as someone who just played a little bit of video games, and that's exactly why I could never quit my addiction. Number 3, it's actually mental health. It's surprising, but really think about it. Imagine someone who's completely happy versus someone who's always depressed. Who's gonna have an addiction? Obviously, the guy who's depressed, right? Obviously, mental health can actually affect you very much when it comes to your decisions in everyday life. And if you're constantly depressed, you're constantly gonna fall back to instant gratification and hyperstimulation just to get your baseline dopamine back up to where it used to be, right? So this is why the number one technique possible when it comes to quitting your phone addiction is actually to fill your day with actual meaningful things. This act alone of changing your daily habits replaces your old bad habits, fixes your self-image and your mental health at the same time, because when you replace it with meaningful things, your day just becomes happier. You feel more purposeful, you get more work done, and overall, more progress means more motivation, means your entire day just feels so much more fulfilling. And this is a side note, but I honestly believe that the root cause of your phone addiction is actually from school. Because really think about it, school fucks up our mental health, right? Because it's training our obedience, making us do stupid shit, sitting there when like restricting our freedom 24/7 every single day. And when our mental health is ruined, that ruins our self-image because our mental health affects our actions, and our actions reflect our self-beliefs. And those spiral together, mental health and self-image, down a very bad rabbit hole until eventually we just create habits of coping from the real world. We all try to escape on social media and video games. If we never went to school as children, I guarantee you social media addiction would drop by 90%. So the best thing to do, in my opinion, to get rid of your phone addiction is to actually learn how to study less in school. And then now you have more time on yourself, so you can actually focus on making your days meaningful, which will replace your self-image, your daily habits, and your mental health. Now the final technique goes over how you can do it over and over again permanently. Now keep in mind, motivation is a very hard skill to control. Motivation probably looks something like this. This is my habit tracker. Oh, you can't really see, but do you see how every single few days I just fuck up? The expectation to make every single day perfect is a good expectation, but you fail to realize the idea of consistency. Consistency means the percentage of your week that actually is successful. Every single week or month that you become more consistent, it's just a higher percentage of which that week you are successful. So for example, if you're trying to start a new habit of dopamine detox every single day or meditating every single day, you're going to start off at like 10% of your month being successful. But then every single month after that, it's going to be 20% and 30% and 40%. Eventually, you'll make so much progress, and one day it's just going to snap, and then for some reason, you're just never going to fail the habit ever again. If you understand consistency, it is unrealistic to expect yourself to be completely perfect day one. However, that still is not an excuse for you to slack off in any single way. You should aim for every single possible day to be perfect. Of course, right? Who doesn't want every single day to be perfect? So you need to learn the skill of discipline, not listening to your emotions, doing things even when you don't feel like it. Discipline is realizing that your highest goal is way more worth it than everyday smaller goals. For example, it is way more worth it to fix your dopamine levels in 2 weeks rather than every single day you're just a little bit more interested. Because the moment you get the habit of detoxing down, every single fucking day will feel like you're a kid again. No money in the world can buy that. That is the most broken thing when it comes to doing work. Having more fun every single possible day is just the most wonderful thing in this entire world, to have fixed dopamine levels. Like, I'm not even trolling. My first strategy is literally just check boxes and a to-do list, which is very good for outlining exactly what you need to do and removing the fear when it comes to procrastination. However, that is still just a surface level technique. The real long-term technique when it comes to getting work done is discipline. Of course, fixing your dopamine levels works extremely well. However, discipline is a skill you can carry on for the rest of your life, no matter where you are. Discipline is the ultimate long-term solution. And also, I believe that when you do hard things, your dopamine levels actually rise. So really think about it. Whenever you, well, I don't know if you took a cold shower before, but whenever you take a cold shower, you feel like a god after, right? You feel like you just ascended. That just means your dopamine levels spiked after doing a hard thing. And it's not unreasonable to think that every single hard thing that you do throughout your day spike your dopamine levels, right? So if you really think about it, you're in complete control over your dopamine. As long as you do harder things, your dopamine levels literally just spike one time higher and one time higher every single time. Doing harder things is free XP for your baseline dopamine levels. I'm not even trolling. That's the way I used to think about it, and it still works today. Okay, this is the final joke advice, but literally do not try to get intrinsically motivated for school. If you do, you become a full nerd. You just enslave yourself to the education system. You're just wasting your time because school does not reflect what is useful in life. You need to start becoming intrinsically motivated for improving your own life. Start spending less time in school so you can actually focus on becoming happier in your own life. If you're watching this to procrastinate, then go do your work. However, there's only one exception, is that if you're about to study, then go watch my other videos on how to study quickly and effectively so it's actually not even that hard. So you can blast through it quickly and then sleep earlier so you can actually be a healthy person that aces the test. You can join my Discord server, link in the description. I can tell you more advice on how to minimize time in school.